Hello, this is Daniel Quenqua for the Spring 2015 SPED 666, and this is my commentary for my unit, which I chose to do a unit on To Kill a Mockingbird. Okay, so why did I choose To Kill a Mockingbird? Currently I work in the inner city, and inner city children, they tend to have a lack of access to resources and the world outside. They really only know the world that they live in, which is pretty small. I also found that To Kill a Mockingbird is a really engaging source for these students. It has many different characters that they may relate to, may not relate to. It's an engaging story about trial. It's about justice. A lot of different things that they may not know, they may know, they may be able to connect with. It's a perfect narrative for segregation as well. For these students, again, they have such a lack of knowledge of how segregated they really are. In addition, the book ties into Common Core learning standards fairly well. Why should we teach students about segregation? Well, minorities struggle with seeing themselves as segregated. Julie Mabey wrote that sometimes they don't even understand how basic things like Band-Aids, how Band-Aids tend to be made for people with Caucasian skin, how minority segregation is built into the U.S. culture, and they just kind of see that that's just the way it is, and they don't really understand that it's a battle that they're going to have to face throughout their life, whether that is through race or even through socioeconomics. And again, if To Kill a Mockingbird touches on many different forms of segregation, both race and gender segregation, and to not touch on segregation in this book would be foolish. How do we connect to the materials to the student? The biggest thing right now for kids is new literacy. New literacy incorporates many different things: PowerPoint, presentation, YouTube videos. Currently, this class is an online course, so that is a new literacy. And one thing that's part of their lives is Twitter and Facebook. Elizabeth Lewis did a unit using MySpace as a template for Atticus Finch, so the students would make a MySpace page based on Atticus Finch, kind of updating it using Facebook and Twitter for the modern student today. They found, though, that using even just MySpace was a great way to do character analysis, and students gained a lot more from the unit. Why teach character analysis? There's two major struggles that students face, according to Larry Johnson, who did a study on character analysis. Larry Johansson. Two major struggles that they face is their ability to make inference and their lack of effective vocabulary. So what does that mean? So ability to make inference. Many students struggle to connect their character, the story to their own lives, or make a connection. Where you do a character analysis, you're forced to infer what their actions are and how it relates to who they are. And then in turn, when you're asking them to do a character analysis, you're forcing them to use effective language to explain who they are. He's a bad guy. Okay, why is he a bad guy? Go into more depth. Give us better language. Again, To Kill a Mockingbird lends itself really great to character analysis. As in this picture shows, there's a great deal of different characters, from Atticus Finch to the Yule family to even Scout. They're all very different characters with very different behaviors and perspectives on the world. Why teach writing an argument? Again, this is a major part of Common Core standards, not only to write, but to make a claim and support it. So writing an argument shows what a student has gained from a text. According to Yin Chen, this is really a big part. Teachers can get a lot of assessment from a student's argument. It shows what they're learning, what they remember, and what they comprehended from the text that was given. And a writing argument, in turn, strengthens a student's connection to text. So let's say they have an opinion about a text. For them to really show their opinion, they need to support that opinion. And by doing it through an argument, they're making connections and recalling material that they've read. What would differentiation look like? To Kill a Mockingbird lends itself to a lot of different media sources. There's graphic novels, there's audiobooks, of course there's the film. So all of these sources should be made available to students to differentiate their learning. Some students may not be able to handle the text form of To Kill a Mockingbird in the inner city. Those students may not be at that reading level, but these sources are definitely available out there for them to utilize. In addition, graphic organizers should be used. As shown in the bottom right corner here, there's different persuasive graphic organizers. Additionally, there's ones that we can tailor specifically to this unit. And social media, the template for social media itself is a graphic organizer and lends itself really well to help students focus as to what they need to say. Twitter is, of course, only a certain amount of characters, and Facebook is, again, specific areas. It breaks everything down for the students. So really, it lends itself to differentiation pretty well. Okay, so the description of the activities in the learning segments. So let's go through it all, I guess. The target population is going to be 9th grade inner city. However, it can be adapted to all secondary grade levels, 7th to 12th. A lot of the Common Core standards that are in 9th grade can still be found in 11th or 12th. Doesn't matter. The prerequisites for this unit really doesn't matter, not a lot. Just make sure that there's a learning environment that encourages student discussion, and a working knowledge of graphic organizers would be helpful. Not necessary, but helpful. And then there's 2 specific objectives for the end of this unit. To create and support a claim about a character and demonstrate comprehension of the material through a character analysis. 2 products are expected to be done by the end of this unit. One is to create a Facebook profile of a specific character, and then an additional product would be the students will make a claim about their character, specifically if their character could stay true to their morals in the present world. So we're actually going to take a character, let's say a character like Atticus Finch, and see if he can actually stay true to his morals in the current environment that we live in. Resource and materials. Again, the book is always going to be a great resource, but really there should be more. The film, the audiobooks, and the William M. Borcher illustrations, they're really great. They show To Kill a Mockingbird in a whole nother light that maybe the kids might be able to utilize to give them some background information. The procedures, the unit will be broken down into 3 segments. Segment 1 is really going to focus on the book itself, reading the book, identifying and responding to scenes from the book. And then in segment 2, students will be working on character analysis, identifying key characteristics and personal traits of the characters in the book. And then in segment 3, they're going to compare those characters to real world and present and present their claim to the class. Suggestions for improvement. Of course, you could flip the classroom, and there's which would really be great in that you could have major focus of reading the book done at home. That could be done either through audiobooks or through hard copies or digital copies of the book. A multidisciplinary approach would be really helpful for this unit. For example, if this unit could be taught in tandem with segregation and social studies, it would really allow the students to be totally immersed into the concept of segregation. An author study is great. Harper Lee is a really interesting character, a person in general. She's lived a pretty interesting life, worked with different people, and comparison to her new book, Go Set Watchmen, which takes place many years after the To Kill a Mockingbird. Hasn't come out yet, but it is coming out this summer. So, for future use, of course, this would be a really great book to compare To Kill a Mockingbird to. All right, so that's my unit. I hope I explained it pretty well. And I guess that's it. Okay. Thank you very much.